What's up, figure freaks? Welcome back to the channel, doing another action figure review. Today I am doing the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Crystal Ball. Full name Richard King. Richard Crystal Ball King. And as you can see up on the side there, he is number 159 in the line. We got a nice little glamour shot on the back. Let's check this out. Get a closer look. We got a helicopter and looks like a cityscape in the background. Pretty cool. We got a close-up of his, I think, alt skull octopus head. And then down here we got his tattoo, I believe on his left arm. But pretty cool with the backgrounds and the setup here for these shots that they take for the packaging. I really like it. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that Firefly? Looks like it. Anyways, looks like a pretty good figure. We got a nice little picture on the side there. Looks pretty freaky. And a figure in the front. So Crystal Ball is known as the hypnotist. He also dabbles in mind control and interrogation. Here we got the barcode. That's on top, Cobra symbol. We got the QR code and all the asset symbols, blah, blah, blah. Let's open up this bad boy and see what Crystal Ball's all about. All right, real quick out of the box here. We got that little stupid thing, of course. We got the backer board, which has his shield affixed to it, as well as the little, I don't know if this is like a hypnotist effect, but I think that snaps onto the other side of the shield. And then we got the figure. He's got a gun. He's got that alt head, which looks wicked as fuck. I'm loving it. There's this little ball, I think. We'll have to look more into that. And then this wicked looking sword. Almost looks like sea spray is kind of coming off of the back of it, but it's more of a like hallucination, which I think most of these green things are. All right, we're gonna bust him out of his plastic prison. All right, out of the box, this is a decent figure. I'm not overly impressed with the just the body parts. There's some cool stuff, but the legs kind of seem janky, and as a matter of fact, I had to do a little operation here. So I got, when I opened it, this piece was almost dislodged from the joint, and it was like swinging way out. So I just did a needle nose pliers and just kind of squeezed it in, but there was a big old gap where that swing joint is. So this little part here was like sticking out, like, I don't know, like just a little gap there. So I just kind of, popped on the needle nose pliers and squeezed away, and it seems to have taken care of it. But that's just quality control. The figure is decent. I kind of feel like the accessories are kind of the exciting part, but there is a lot of cool history with this character, as I have found out. So I did mention that he's like the hypnotist, and he's into mind control, and he does the interrogation. I read up on Wikipedia, he's labeled as kind of bizarre, strange, because he does kind of resemble Doctor Strange in a way, and uncomfortable to be around. So he, even in the midst of all these Cobra guys, all these different personalities, he's like the scary guy. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of cool jacket here. It does come off to reveal what's underneath. We'll take it off real quick. It's not that easy to get off though, because, well, These shoulder pads stay on. They are molded onto the figure itself. I think this can come off. I mean, am I not supposed to take this off? I don't know. Oh, yeah, we're taking it off. So we'll kind of do this for the articulation part. But he's like wearing like the ugly, it's ugly sweater day kind of look there. But here's the jacket. We got the kind of fur up here around the collar. Nice molding. We got like kind of some padding up here on the shoulder and the upper back. Goes down. We got a pouch back here, and it's kind of more of a trench, and it's kind of tattered and torn at the bottom. So pretty cool moldings there. We got pouches on both sides around the hips, and then we got these belt straps that are kind of hanging. And then on the front, we got these straps, got some gold paint there to show those buckles. Kind of cool little design, like mesh design underneath, and the two straps that go across to tighten it. Some neat little designs there on the front. So pretty nice on this jacket, I gotta say. Good looking. And then the figure. Get a close-up of that face. Pretty freaky looking. Just a part of some trivia here. Crystal Ball was almost universally considered the most disliked figure. And it's quoted back in the 80s that fans hate this guy. He was a peg warmer in the 1987 assortment to the extent that he was still on the pegs in stores in 1990. He's got these necklaces here. One seems to be like a green gem. Maybe that's the source of his power. And then he's got this other emblem here. So two necklaces. He's got the tattoo underneath there on the chest. Nice paint. He's got this brown shirt with the gold like stencil. The head moves quite a bit. It will go all the way around, and it does pop off. We'll show you that swappable head here in a moment. Let's get those two necklaces sitting right. The shoulder goes up pretty good, higher than most, even though he does have this shoulder pad. Let's see if he can do it on this shoulder. So yeah, pretty, maybe not as high on this one on the left. Oh, there we go. I think that works. There we go. So pretty good. He's reaching high. He's got the backpack hole in the back. So we got that. Wraps all the way around. We have the double jointed pinless elbows. We got the pivot. So the pivot's going from down here up to the thumb. I always kind of call that up down instead of like left and right. So both hands are pivoted in that fashion. We also have the twist on the wrist. We got the stomach crunch. He looks down about like that. Whoa, way up. Look at that. He's a contortionist, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Okay. And then he also has the twist in the waist and kind of some pivot movement there as well. Pretty nice articulation on the hips. He does a nice splits. I mean, wow, this guy is ready for the sex swing or something. I don't know, but Jesus. It's got a ratchet on the stomach crunch, so you're going to get some stiffness there. That's pretty nice. I like that. We got the thigh cut swivel, double jointed knees, pinless, of course. We got the cut on the boot there. And then, of course, the drop downs that pop back up into the hips. And then we got the tilt as well as the pivot on those ankles. So, good articulation. This thing wants to pop back out. it seems like. You can kind of see it right there, but I'm not that worried about it. If it gets too bad, I'll just maybe squirt a little super glue in there, and just so so this doesn't get super loose and he starts falling down because of it, but also to hold that little piece that keeps sticking out, and it'll go in there. So it'll kind of kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, peg warmer. That lasted about 3 years. So that was about 87, 88 is kind of when I lost interest. You know, I was going to high school by then, and looking at girls and watching sports and shit like that. So I know I say that often, but it's true. And I remember seeing this guy on the shelf and just like going, what the hell is G.I. Joe doing? They just went way too far with these characters. And there's some cool connections with this guy. Here we got an open hand. It's like a claw hand almost. I think it might be used for holding his little crystal ball here, which is pretty neat. It's a crystal ball, and it's got this kind of green glowing effect that he's got for a lot of his accessories, but kind of like almost like a mist coming up around the globe. Pretty tight. I left the TV on upstairs, so I don't know if you can hear that, but it's Dexter. Then we got his pistol with this weird little wrap around the barrel there. Kind of an old Western style pistol. Then we got his sword, which is pretty cool. It's almost like a swashbuckler sword, pirate sword. And it's got this stuff kind of trailing off of it, whatever this might be. Slime, just visual effects, trails, you know, like, because, you know, he's tossing everybody like tabs of acid, perhaps, to make them see crazy shit. You got this cool shield here that kind of has a hologram effect. You move it around, you shift it, and you see different pictures. And then this actually clamps onto it to add to the effect. Just kind of pop in these little edges here, and they kind of cut into the inside. And I think it's just one good press. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Is that going to stay in there? I don't know. It doesn't want to stay in there. Get in there. There we go. Okay. So there you have it. All those slimy snakes and the skull right in the middle. You can just press or grab this little tab here. Pops out. And then this is probably my favorite part. This alt head, it's wicked. I mean, this is sick. You got the skull, some red eyes in there in the skull. This little thing on the forehead. I don't know if that's like a gem or something alive, like a little squid thing, but the horns are wicked. I love the sculpts here. Very nice. Some nice moldings. It's pretty nice. You got these little wing things on the side, almost like they're like gills. And then the octopus tentacles coming out of the mouth. So it's pretty wicked. And you got these things. So you can put this on the head, replace his head with that, but you can also just put this on the ground, and it kind of looks like a little creature, like just walking around. I've been watching a lot of Alien Earth, and it's freaky shit, and like this could fit into that shell. So just to get a good look at the molding here, very nice looking. It kind of almost looks like a a Japanese style, like Shogun warrior helmet from the back. And then you turn it to the front, and it's just horrifying. So let's try this head on the figure. Nope. That just popped right off, which is concerning. There we go. There we go. Moves around pretty dang good. So there we go. I want to keep this head on there. So this character, as much of like how unpopular he was in the 80s, he is very connected to the lore of horror in a few ways. You know, he looks horrific, especially right here, but there's a connection with Stephen King. So Stephen King's son, Owen, was a big G.I. Joe fan, and he was talking to Hasbro way back when and suggested that G.I. Joe or Cobra get a magician. So they created this character. And either Stephen or Owen wrote the file card on the back of his toy card. So it's said that it was written by either Owen or Stephen King. I don't know if Stephen King would take the time to do that. You know, I don't know. We're going to put this jacket back on, and we're going to get them all decked out while I'm just yarping about this shit. But Stephen King isn't the only one that this character is connected to. If you look at the face, there's a resemblance. Maybe not like that, but the hair with little gray wings, and I'm not talking about Polly Walnuts, but I'm talking about the one and only Vincent Price. So a lot of the facial features, the hair, vaguely resemble the horror action star Vincent Price, which I'm going to show you a picture of right. And here we have a older Vincent Price. He's got the mustache. He's kind of got the gray sides of the hair there. Looks kind of like Crystal Ball. And here we have a much younger, more striking actor, Vincent Price. So that was Vincent Price. For those of you that don't remember him. So here we got his little crystal ball in his open hand. It will fall out. Oh, maybe it won't. What? All right. Well, there we have it, guys. He does hold his crystal ball. Hence the name. We'll put that right up there. We're going to slide that back. This is like the selling point right here. I love this molding. I love this head. Everything about it. It's super cool. I love the glowing green effect. Really awesome. So accessories, awesome. The paint is great. Articulation, of course, is always probably top notch. And yeah, this is a pretty damn good figure. I really like the accessories. Disappointed about the ankle, but that's kind of separate from how I judge my action figures. You know, there's some quality control. That's going to happen. I don't think it should, because I could get like a perfect figure that's all tight. You know, sometimes you get that figure that's like really tight in the joints and the paint's perfect. And, you know, sometimes there's little things that'll bug you like this. And I usually know how to fix it. So it's all good. But yeah, really cool figure. Let's measure the height here. I'm going to get him standing up straight if I can. Maybe for comparisons, I might bust out the green alt head here because I just think it's super cool. And I don't want to display him with that head, but I think this thing should be displayed with him. So I have 3 of these like headstands, and this guy might have to come out of that little thing. It's this thing here. So I may need to take this to display, you know, just, it's so cool. So part of me does want to pose him with that head affixed. So standing pretty much straight up, let's bust out that ruler. And we're sitting at about 6 1/8 inches. So just over 6 inches. So right on par there with the line as far as height goes. Let's do some comparisons here. We'll put this away later. Maybe I'll do some poses with that head. But for now, we're going to just do it like this. As I'm busting out these other ones, I'm going to talk about some working names. So when they're creating this character with Owen King and whoever else, you know, they made him look similar to Vincent Price. You know, the resemblance is there, but they had some working names, and one was Trance Master, which I think probably would have worked. Now, seems like these 2 guys would be buddy. Dr. Mindbender and Crystal Ball. 2 mad science-y guys, sick doctors. You know, one was a dentist in Mindbender and the other one is a hypnotist. You know, maybe hypnotherapy. These guys would probably get along. You know, if there's a Cobra like outing or a luncheon, they'd probably be sitting at the same table. Got a Night Creeper here. What was another one was Professor Id Mesmeron. Id Mesmeron. I'm not really sure what that means. We got Breaker with his bubble gum. Target exclusive. I really do like that figure. Another figure that I got recently that I do love. Footloose. Let's Dance. Awesome. We're going to bring these guys out just a tad. And the last name that they had for the working names was The Gazer. Kumakura. Like this figure a lot. Haven't busted them out in a while. We'll put them back there. So there's our Joe comparisons. Now let's bring some non-Joe comparisons out. Alright, I put that skull octopus head on him. I really do like it. I'm torn. I kind of want to have him posed like this. I mean, this shit is awesome. So, I've decided I'm going to give this figure an 8. It's not perfect, but there are some really great things in this. This is a big part of it. I do like all the green stuff, the crystal ball, the sword. By the way, he does have his little holster in there for his pistol. We got it down there. You know, every one of these guys should have a gun. In case, you know, the magic or whatever doesn't work. So yeah, he's getting an 8. And I just really love this head sculpt. I like all the green features, all the accessories, the gun's decent. The coat, the trench coat is super wicked. I'm not a huge fan of these boots going into these jeans here. I'm just not, but I don't know. What else were they gonna do? Give him like naked chicken legs? Probably not. So, yeah, he's getting an 8. At first when I opened him, and I was kind of like, this figure's all hype. But as I messed around with him and played with him, it's not hype. So if we're talking about like these psychological guys that are like hypnotizing you and mind control and maybe like fucking with your head and making you see weird stuff, I think that we got to bring in Mysterio, who, much like Crystal Ball, has these little green little squid effects, and he actually has the skull on the inside here. I think this does come off. I want it to. Come on. Look at that. I mean, look at that. That is fucking wicked. And he's got a skull and he's got tentacles coming out. So it's like, did they steal this shit from him? Down here, it's very mystical, kind of some like tentacle type features down here. So it's just like, look at this. I mean, same color, same theme. Mysterio and Crystal Ball would be chilling out together, having a good time. Dr. Mindbender might be mixing the drinks, you know. So, Mysterio. Very similar to Crystal Ball. Who else likes to mess with your head? Who's from the Marvel Legends line? That piece of shit Professor Xavier. You know, I always liked the cartoon better when he wasn't hanging around. Yeah, and then he turns out to, you know, turn into Onslaught, and then later on turns out to be even more of a piece of shit. But he keeps coming back, and they keep allowing him to come back, and he's in control again. So another guy. Hey, he's got a helmet with tentacles, right? Mutant. Do as I say. Trust me. So yeah, and he's all decked out in green. Another guy that I don't know, is part of this theme. Masterverse Scareglow. Glowy, scully, scary. Scareglow. All right. All right. We got the Psycho Man from the DC Multiverse, which was a very short run. DC Universe Classics ended, and then Mattel kept going with the DC Multiverse, and this was a Build-A-Figure. Very limited articulation. You got a twist on the hips. You got the arms that move. You got the head. But this guy's a little man, Dr. Psycho, part of the DC Multiverse. He is with my DCUC display and shelves, and just kind of a cool character, but a little guy that fucks with your head. And finally, another guy that's all about the psychology, and he's got some snakes. We got Jake the Snake Roberts, one of the best heels ever to wrestle. Psychologically wise, he is the best. You know, he's a druggie, but he knew how to work the psychological part of wrestling. Just in the promos, in his actions in the ring. He has his snake here, Damien, so it just kind of reminded me of that. It felt relevant, it felt comparable. So there we have it, guys. That is my Crystal Ball review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about this figure. I do like it. He's getting an 8. Will he go on my top 10 Joes of 2025? He might. He could slip in there, you know. It's just a really sharp looking figure. I do like it. It's kind of got a pirate swashbuckler kind of feel to it. Yeah, it's a great looking figure. So he gets the 8. He will probably make my top 10 G.I. Joes, and he actually might make like my top, you know, it is 2025. Is it time to start doing top 25 lists for the year of 2025? I think I'll want to, because the more the merrier, right? So, hey guys, I'm going to cut it off right there. I'm jibber jabbering. We got She-Hulk coming up next, and quite a few bit others. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, WWE Elites, Transformers, Motu, Masterverse. We got everything. So it's coming up. Stay tuned, guys. I'm excited. I'm going to keep rolling through these today, and tomorrow after work I will bust a few out. So enjoy. Peace out, guys. Later. So, yeah, I'm just wondering, where do I get those little, like, tentacle special effect leg things? I would sure like to grab some, because I'd like to add it to my outfit. It'd probably make me look a lot scarier. So where do you pick something like that up? Tentacle special effects leg clamps are us? Oh. Okay.